Okay, I just did the king and rook checkmate, and I thought, while I'm here, I got the time, everything set up, I should go ahead and do the king and queen checkmate as well. King and queen checkmate, well, you could do it just like you did the rook, but it's far easier than the rook because the queen can check diagonally. It can attack diagonally. So we again we want the kings to be in opposition, but they don't have to just be in a vertical or horizontal opposition. They can be in a diagonal opposition. So this is not going to be my starting screen because for some reason chess.com doesn't want us to see the starting screen before we start, because I guess you can do this for time, but I've always bored just on technique. So let me open it up and get whatever my starting position is going to be. Okay, so because diagonal opposition will work as well, I can simply move to the square G6, and I'm going to be able to checkmate really in a move after that. So I can move my king here, and note that I have I have boxed this king in, and the queen is protected in both of these squares, and she will check in both of these squares. So if this were a rook, let's say if this were a rook and I moved it to this square, it would deliver a check, but then the king could escape the check by simply moving one over. But since this is a queen, the queen can move diagonally as well, and so the queen can deliver a checkmate on H7. Additionally, that we could deliver checkmate on G7 because the king would be checked by the queen and not have the square to move. And what we want to do is just move this queen to some place where the king is protecting her from being captured. So there we go, deliver a check. Again, we can move a knight's move away with our queen, and we got to be careful when we're moving our queen, because while it is easier to checkmate with the queen, it's also easier to stalemate. So when I move here, note that my queen is controlling all of these squares, leaving these two squares as the only two squares that are open to the king. So now I'm going to bring my king in, and we got to be very, 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 very careful here. In fact, so careful that I want to move my queen here in order to give this king some relief, but keep him trapped on the first rank. So I'm going to move here. Now I can bring my king in, and now I can check and bring that in there. That takes it away fast, so you didn't get to see it, but I'll try to use symbol. Okay, so I'm going to, again, this is a knight's move away, so I'm going to move to D5, knight's move away. That's not a check, but it's going to push the king over to the edge. So knight's move away. Now, whichever direction the king moves, I'm going to move that direction. It will work in your favor. So he moved down and diagonal. I'm going to move down and diagonal. He moved up one. I'm going to move up one. And this has the effect of pushing a king to the side of the board with your queen. So he moved up one. I moved up one. I'm keeping that knight's move away. And now that I am here, notice that he's here. So I'm going to start moving my king in to support my queen. She can't checkmate on her own. And I need to be careful here. Well, again, he is on the rank that I want, so I'm just going to move a knight's move away and control this 7th rank with my queen. Sorry, it's been a long day. Okay, and so now it doesn't matter as much if we get exact vertical or horizontal opposition with the king, because again, a knight's move opposition is fine. So I can move my king right up to g6, and you'll see that no matter, even if he moves here, because my king is still protecting the square, I can move my queen to this square. The queen is going to deliver check to all of these three squares, E, F, and G8, so that we produce a checkmate when I move her there. Okay. All right, again, knight's position away. I'm going to just mimic him. So he moved down one. I want to move down one. He's moved up. I want to move up, up, up. And okay, so this is where, let's see, if I move here, I control these squares, and these squares, and that would be a stalemate. So I don't want to blindly follow in. He is on the rank that I want him on, so I'm going to get one away from that rank, and the easiest way for me to do that is to move to D7. So that's where I'm going to move here. And now that I have him plastered against the edge of the board, I will move my king in for support. Okay. Checkmate. Oh, I don't have a queen, I have a pawn. I thought this was king and queen checkmate. Well, sometimes that's going to happen with a pawn too. In this position, we're protecting our pawn, and so we can just push our pawn and queen it. Select that queen. Okay. Notice that I can get into knight's position away from B3. So that's what I'm going to do, and start pushing this king away from the center of the board. He moved to the right. I'm going to move to the right, and I'm going to keep that up until I get in danger of a stalemate. So now I have pushed him to the edge of the board. So again, he's on the edge. Now I just want to take a safe square on one away from the edge, and that square would be B2 here. So I take that square, and now that I have him basically relegated to the first rank, I move my king in for support. Okay. And again, he has created the opposition, so I can move in and produce a checkmate. Okay. So much simpler, much faster than the rook, but remember, checkmate and stalemate are easier with the queen. So you have to be careful that you don't accidentally stalemate.